bam, bam. She wanna flick for the gram. Fuss her, baby, sabe who I am. So she wanna do it all on cam. Like, hold up, sabe how to hold a pull up.
APB All Points Bulletin. It was hyped up as the GTA-style MMO that was gonna change everything. $100 million in funding, crazy customization, and non-stop action. But let's be real, it didn't exactly live up to the hype. So here we are in 2025 and I thought, why not give it another shot? Has it actually improved, or is it still the same disappointing game that let us all down? That's what we will try to find out in today's video, and I hope you guys enjoy. The story of APB kicks off with high hopes in 2010, where David Jones, the creator of the first Grand Theft Auto game and CEO of the gaming studio Real-Time Worlds, launched APB. The game promised to merge the open world of GTA and the social aspect of MMOs, which obviously got a lot of players excited. However, the launch of APB was anything but smooth. Server issues were frequent, gameplay felt unpolished, the game was filled up by cheaters, and on top of all that, you had the pricing, which was a total shock for everyone. A whopping $49.99 for the game, which included 50 hours of gameplay.
What?
And if you wanted to play beyond the 50 hours, you had to buy additional hours of game time for a few dollars depending on the package that you chose. Or you could go for a no-limit game time experience for a monthly subscription of $19.99. Even in today's market, that sounds insane to me. All of these issues combined led to Real-Time Worlds shutting down the APB servers as well as filing for bankruptcy just a couple of months after release of the game. But the story doesn't end there. Another company, Gamers First, bought and relaunched APB as APB Reloaded in 2011, making the game free to play in hopes of rebuilding the community. The game, however, didn't really see any major updates over the years, neither were things mentioned previously addressed, plus the lack of commitment to fighting cheaters led to Gamers First selling the game to Little Orbit in 2018, who aimed to revive the game by addressing some of the long-standing issues, as well as bringing new content into the game. So here we are 7 years later, and so how far exactly has Little Orbit come? In August 2024, APB released a huge update called The New Horizon, but before we dive deeper into that, let's take a look at other major updates since Little Orbit took office. Earlier updates included transitioning APB Reloaded to 64-bit version, which was aimed at improving the game's performance, especially for players with modern systems. This upgrade was part of the broader effort to enhance stability and address memory issues. Before New Horizon, Little Orbit introduced APB Riot, a battle royale mode within the game, which was a significant gameplay addition to offer something different from the typical APB experience. However, from what I've seen, the APB community wasn't necessarily happy with this update. But hey, can't win them all, right? And now to the New Horizon, which was obviously the biggest update we've had since forever. So first of all, 2 new mid-game contacts, Lucas Van Ryan and Lynetta Casey, were introduced, providing players with new mission chains and rewards. These contacts offer 15 levels each and can be unlocked at a relatively lower rank than previous contacts, making progression more accessible and engaging for mid-tier players. The progression system was revamped to give players more free content through regular gameplay, including new modifications, weapons and cosmetics. The Waterfront District saw significant changes, with a focus on altering the geometry of the game environment. This was the first time Little Orbit had modified any district's layout, and from what I've heard, this is something that the community has been asking for years. The update also included a new type of NGG detection, aiming to provide a fairer playing environment. This system was a part of a broader strategy to manage cheaters without immediately banning them, using a point system for more announced enforcement. If you ask me, that sounds like a desperate way of keeping the game alive. Adjustments to the rank requirements for mods were made, lowering the threshold to make high-end modifications more accessible through a broader player base. Changes to the weapon stats, like those of the DMR AV sniper rifle, aimed at balancing gameplay by adjusting damage and range. The New Horizon update was intended to set a new benchmark for APB Reloaded by delivering substantial free content, addressing long-standing issues like cheating, and providing a fresh jumping-on point for both new and returning players. However, all this doesn't necessarily reflect on the player base, with only a small increase since the update launched. One thing APB has done completely right is its character customization system. Back when the game was released, this level of customization was something gaming had never really seen before. And even today, games struggle to keep up with APB's customization. You have the freedom to edit any piece of your clothing, change the colors, add symbols, stickers and patterns. You can in fact also create your own symbols which you can use to place onto your clothing or car. The character itself can be customized on a deep level as well, with things such as scars, tattoos, and even how prominent your character's veins are. I mean, it's insane. Another thing APB absolutely nailed is its in-game music maker. Just like the character customization, it gives players a surprising amount of creating freedom. Using a built-in sequencer, you can layer different instruments, beats and melodies to create your own custom tracks. But what makes this feature really stand out is how it ties into the gameplay. Instead of just making music for fun, you can set your tracks as kill teams, meaning every time you take out an opponent, they'll hear the tune you created. It's a small detail, but it adds a personal touch to every encounter and makes the game feel more unique. On top of that, APB has an in-game marketplace where players can sell their custom creations. Not just music, but also clothing designs, car decals, and even full outfits. If you have an eye for fashion or enjoy designing unique styles, you can create and sell your own custom-made clothing, letting other players wear your designs across the city. This adds a whole extra layer of player-driven creativity and makes the game economy feel alive. Even after all these years, it's rare to see a game offer this level of customization and freedom. Between the detailed character editor, the ability to make and sell custom content, and the unique music system, APB continues to stand out in ways that most online games don't. It's these features that give the game its unique personality and keep players coming back to the game. Let's talk about the gameplay. The game is super fun, and despite its age, it still manages to deliver an enjoyable experience. The overall feel is much smoother than before, and the servers are noticeably better, making matches feel more consistent. Movement, gunplay, and interactions all feel more responsive compared to how they used to be. Of course, that doesn't mean that the game is perfect, far from it. APB could definitely use a lot more updates to keep things fresh, but even in its current state, it still has plenty to offer. One of the bigger drawbacks is the matchmaking. The wait times can be quite long, especially when you're just starting out and don't have a proper rank yet. It gets better as you play more, but it can be frustrating early on. On the positive side, the shooting mechanics feel more balanced now. The gap between veteran players and newcomers isn't as brutal as it once was, so if you quit because of the pay-to-win aspect, now might be a good time to give it another shot. Driving, on the other hand, is still as clunky as ever. It often feels more like you're sliding across the city rather than actually driving. Some vehicles handle it better than others, but overall it's something you just have to get used to. And of course, there are still occasional server freezes and game crashes, but for a game that's approaching its 50th anniversary, that's almost to be expected. So, do I think it's worth your time? Honestly, yeah. The game is free to play, so there's no harm in trying it out. Whether you're a returning player or someone who's never heard of APB before, there are definitely a few hours of fun waiting for you here. It may not be the most polished experience out there, but if you enjoy chaotic open-world PvP, it's still one of the most unique games of its kind. So that's about it for this one. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to leave a like, drop a comment and subscribe for more. And if you're thinking about trying APB or jumping back in after a long break, let me know how it goes. Did the changes make a difference for you, or does it still feel the same? Anyways, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace!